The ocean's abyss, a realm of eternal darkness, crushing pressure, and creatures straight out of nightmares. For millennia, these deep-sea beings stayed hidden, surviving in conditions we can barely imagine. But now, something's changed. Giant squids, anglerfish, and other abyssal ghosts are rising to the surface. Why? Is it a warning, a natural phenomenon? Or are we witnessing a real-life Leviathan mystery? Let's dive deep. The deep ocean, a world of perpetual twilight and crushing pressure, was once considered a sanctuary, a place untouched by the changing seasons above. But this sanctuary, we are discovering, is no longer immune to the reach of humanity's impact. Our oceans, you see, are not passive bystanders. They are in fact immense sponges, absorbing a staggering 93% of Earth's excess heat. And as the surface temperatures rise, the deep sea, this cold, stable haven for countless life forms, is warming faster than we ever thought possible. Now consider creatures like the vampire squid, a true living fossil, or the giant isopods resembling prehistoric armadillos of the deep. These creatures are exquisitely adapted to the near-freezing temperatures of their abyssal home. Even a seemingly insignificant shift of 1 degree Celsius can disrupt their delicate metabolism, forcing them to seek refuge in shallower, warmer waters. And the evidence is mounting. A 2019 study published in the esteemed journal revealed a startling discovery. Oxygen levels in the deep Pacific have plummeted by a staggering 40% since 1960. These oxygen-depleted regions known as dead zones are spreading like a silent plague through the deep. Starved of the very breath of life, creatures are left with a grim choice: flee or perish. And so they ascend, driven from their refuge by the invisible hand of climate change, venturing into a world wholly unfamiliar and fraught with peril. The deep sea, once untouched, is now within our grasp. Our tendency is proving destructive. Deep sea mining tears apart ecosystems. Hydrothermal vents support unique life forms, yet they are being sacrificed. Trawling nets crush ancient coral forests. These ecosystems are fragile. Noise pollution wreaks havoc on marine life. Whales are particularly vulnerable. Intense sound waves disorient them. Even our waste reaches the abyss. Microplastics infiltrate the deepest trenches. The consequences are dire. It impacts the entire ocean. Denizens of the deep are fleeing towards the surface. The abyss, eternally cloaked in darkness, is a realm of constant struggle, a delicate dance between predator and prey, where survival hinges on a razor's edge. Consider the Humboldt squid, a formidable predator that can reach lengths of 6 feet, patrolling the depths in organized packs. These creatures, once content with the bounty of the deep, are increasingly venturing upwards, following the trails of their favored prey overfished surface species like anchovies. The barrel-eye fish, with its transparent head and upward-facing eyes, is another fascinating example. This denizen of the twilight zone, where sunlight barely penetrates, has evolved a unique adaptation, the ability to spot prey silhouetted against the faint glimmer above. But there's a twist to this ancient game of cat and mouse. Climate-driven algal blooms, fueled by warming waters and nutrient runoff, are creating a phenomenon known as marine snow. This steady rain of organic debris, a macabre feast for scavengers like the ophiuroid brittle stars, disrupts the delicate balance of the deep. As these scavengers congregate in greater numbers, they attract predators like the barrel-eye, drawing them ever closer to the surface. And where the predators go, their prey must inevitably follow. The deep, it seems, is being drawn upwards, its inhabitants caught in a complex web of shifting food chains and changing environmental cues. The boundaries between the abyss and the surface world are blurring, and the consequences are only just beginning to reveal themselves. Chapter 4. Beneath the waves, hidden from our casual gaze, lies a world in constant flux, a realm where the Earth's raw power is on full display. Here, tectonic plates clash and grind, volcanoes erupt with fiery fury, and the very seafloor heaves and sighs. Hydrothermal vents, those underwater geysers, spew forth superheated water laden with dissolved minerals and toxic chemicals, creating ephemeral oases of life in the otherwise barren abyss. In 2022, the world watched in awe as a submarine volcano near Tonga erupted with a violence rarely witnessed, triggering tsunamis that raced across the Pacific and sending shockwaves felt around the globe. Such cataclysmic events, though infrequent, are stark reminders of the Earth's restless nature, its power to reshape the very foundations of the ocean. These geological upheavals, dramatic as they are, also play a crucial role in the lives of deep-sea creatures. The eruption of underwater volcanoes, for instance, can trigger upwellings, bringing nutrient-rich water from the depths to the surface. Species like the enigmatic bigfin squid, with its elongated arms and bizarre elbow-like appendages, are thought to ride these currents, capitalizing on the sudden bounty of plankton near the surface. Even earthquakes, those tremors that shake the continents, can have a profound impact on the deep. The release of methane hydrates, vast reserves of methane trapped in icy cages beneath the seafloor, can disorient deep-sea life, causing them to ascend to shallower waters in a desperate bid for survival. The deep sea, it seems, is not a static environment but a dynamic, ever-changing world shaped by forces beyond our control. And as the Earth continues to shift and churn, so too will the lives of the creatures that call it home. Chapter 5. For centuries, sailors whispered tales of the Kraken, a monstrous squid of colossal size, capable of dragging ships and their crews to watery graves. These tales, passed down through generations, were dismissed as mere superstition, the product of overactive imaginations fueled by fear of the unknown. Yet, in 2020, off the coast of Japan, a living giant squid, its massive eyes, the size of basketballs, staring back at the camera, was captured on film. This fleeting glimpse into the abyss confirmed what many had long suspected, that the Kraken, far from being a myth, had its roots in reality. But the giant squid, and other deep-sea Leviathans like it, may not be the monsters we once imagined. Could it be that these creatures, once feared as harbingers of doom, are themselves fleeing a threat? The colossal squid, even larger than its giant cousin, inhabits the frigid waters of the Antarctic. As its icy realm warms, this reclusive denizen of the deep is being forced to venture further afield, occasionally surfacing in a desperate bid for survival. Perhaps the ancient myths and legends, those cautionary tales whispered across the ages, were not simply stories but warnings from a time when humans and the deep were more closely intertwined. Warnings of ecological shifts, of a delicate balance disrupted. The ascent of the Leviathans, those ancient mariners once believed, heralded change, often for the worse. And as we witness these creatures rising from the depths, we must ask ourselves, are we simply observers, or are we active participants in this unfolding drama? The answer, I fear, is all too clear. Chapter 6. Here's a thought. Perhaps the deep-sea creatures, those denizens of the abyss, haven't just suddenly begun their ascent. Perhaps they've always been there, rising and falling in a silent ballet we were simply unequipped to witness. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? To realize that for all our technological prowess, for all our exploration and discovery, we've only just scratched the surface of what lies beneath. Until the last decade, we knew more about the surface of Mars than we did about the depths of our own oceans. The abyss, for the longest time, remained a black box, its secrets hidden by miles of water and crushing pressure. But the advent of advanced remotely operated vehicles equipped with high-definition cameras and powerful lights has opened a new window into this hidden world. Suddenly, we're able to see with astonishing clarity creatures like the ghostly chimera, also known as the ghost shark, its ethereal form gliding through the darkness. The Dumbo octopus, with its ear-like fins and endearingly clumsy gait, has become an internet sensation. Its image beamed around the world from the depths of the Monterey Canyon, and the barrel-eye fish, that denizen of the Twilight Zone with its transparent head, was only filmed alive for the first time in 2021. The increase in sightings of deep-sea creatures, then, may not necessarily be an indication of increased activity, but rather a testament to our own increasing ability to see. It's a visibility revolution, if you will. We're not just seeing more, we're finally paying attention. Outrow, the deep sea is Earth's final frontier, and its creatures are messengers. Their ascent is a mosaic of climate chaos, human hubris, and Earth's ancient rhythms. Solving this Leviathan mystery isn't just about curiosity, it's about survival. Protect the oceans and we protect ourselves. After all, the abyss doesn't just hide monsters, it holds the balance of life on Earth.